I am coming for you. I ride with 1,000,000 warriors. I bring the end of days. I am the Scourge of God!
So I'm Pawel, Wojs. I'm the lead artist for Total War Attila. It closes Attila. What the theme overall, what it does is it closes the chapter of Rome. It's an end to the story of Rome. We covered the hundreds of years of the glory of the Roman Empire, and this is kind of the end of that empire, and also the first chapter of Europe's next history. It's the dawn of the Dark Age. It's the opening, the book to the Dark Ages and the medieval period. So it's a really important time, as well as this guy is basically he's the scourge of God. This is a time of religion. Catholicism is rife throughout Europe. He is the pale horse, the four horsemen of the apocalypse. He is the story of the religious apocalypse. He is the scourge of God coming to punish the sinful Romans for what they've done. So and he was a great general. I mean, his empire spanned all the way to Gaul. It'd be we had to base a game around him. He's just such a strong character. You can basically see your whole family. You can see your sons, any bastards, legitimate children. You marry. You can use it in diplomacy to arrange diplomatic marriages. It's a connection it connects the political system and the game systems, really strongly. You can actually appoint governors now. Use your family members or others, appoint governors to become governors of regions, which allows you to basically take all of the skills, all of the experience that those characters have developed during the course of a game. You can appoint them and take all those effects and experiences will affect that region positively, and you can actually enact edicts because of that. There's a real connection there, because if you, for example, have to defend that settlement with the garrison force, that governor will be the leader of the garrison force. You will see him on the battlefield. If it's your son, you will see him there on the battlefield. And if you lose him, you lose your son. That's it. It just brings the whole world into a real kind of tangible kind of space. Obviously, all of this kind of affects your political influence and your public influence. So you can for some reason if you, for example, bring him into your family, other members may become disgruntled, and you'll lose kind of popularity with them, and then if your popularity isn't very high, your strength ultimately will be weaker, and you can lose. There could be corruption, and it's a real delicate balance between keeping your people happy and other members happy. You have to be careful. You can see opinions and kind of feelings towards you. So you can get those hints as to something might happen. Yeah. So basically, we have a skill tree now. So rather than a card system, you have a clear, defined skill tree, so you can see and track your character progression. At the same time, you have the same with the technologies. We've just basically presented it in a way that you can clearly see the progression for all technologies, and you can track everything, and everything is hyperlinked as well. Something that we haven't spoken about is the event feed, which is a new feature. Basically, we track all of the events that occur during the course of a game, and you can every single battle, everything that's happened, you can all see it in one panel. And you can also upload that to your TotalWar.com page, so you can share the events of your whole campaign with others online. So that kind of goes back to the whole campaign, the whole kind of UI integration. Everything's kind of up front. You can browse. The technologies are clearly defined. We have a building browser as well. So when you build a building and choose what buildings to build, you can open up the browser, which shows you all of the tree of all the buildings all in one spot, with all the types of buildings, like building chains, like military, sanitation, all this kind of stuff. And actually, if I can carry on, sorry if you've got more questions, but one thing that we have as well now, which is we have, in Rome we had sanitation and squalor, and it kind of affected public order, but we've kind of changed that slightly. So you have squalor, and people can be quite happy living in squalor as long as you keep them happy. But if your sanitation isn't good enough, and your squalor is rising, diseases can develop. So we have diseases now. So if you don't have enough sanitation buildings and your squalor is high, you can develop these diseases. You've got plague, tuberculosis, dysentery, lots of different types of diseases with different kind of infection rate and different spread and different lifetime. And basically, but they can spread. They can spread from army to army. If an army is infected, it can spread it to neighboring regions. If you're trading with a faction, with a region that has a disease, that disease can spread across the trade routes. So you have to be really careful, and you've got to really prevent it, essentially, because you can't, medicine wasn't that advanced at this time, so you can't really cure diseases that easily. It's all a case of prevention by building sanitation to try and, hold it back. When you abandon a settlement, you're taking that population with you. You're moving, so that your neighbouring regions will get that population. Essentially, you don't kill everyone. That's when you're raised. So you're taking money out of the region and you're abandoning. But of course, it will affect your stability and as a whole, because you are abandoning people are not going to be happy about that. So we have one of the big features that we have in battle is the siege escalation system, which is basically if you besiege a settlement on the campaign map, you can attack straight away. If you attack straight away, that city's going to be strong. The walls are going to be solid. It's going to be a pristine, defended city. There'll be civilians working in the field, civilians in the streets. These civilians will run away from your forces or potentially try and fight and attack. But it's going to be a really hard fight. You're going to really have to, use your siege equipment. It's going to be very difficult because it's a lot harder to kind of break down those walls and get through. But if you maintain the siege on the campaign map, if you maintain it for several turns, and it will, time will pass, month to month, year to year, and the settlement will progressively, when you go into the battle again, you'll be at an escalation level, and there'll be breaches in the walls because of sapping during the turn time. The city will be burning. There'll be trenches, there'll be mud and kind of broken wrecks everywhere. It will have that kind of feeling that the siege has, it's taken a long time. But like I say, there'll be breaches in the wall, so you can essentially attack it with ease. It'll be easier than trying to attack straight away. As well, part of that is the fire propagation. We have dynamic fire on the battlefields now. So fire will burn and spread. City buildings will burn. The fire will spread and burn, and just spread. And the more you burn, the more of the city burns, the more the defenders' morale is affected. So the more buildings that are destroyed, the harder it will be to defend because the morale is wavering. Men can just kind of decide to leave because it's not worth fighting for. But that damage is persistent as well. So if you're attacking a settlement, and you want to capture that settlement, you have to be careful because the more of it you burn, the more you'll have to repair on the campaign map. Because if you burn 70% of that city, 70% of it will be burnt on the campaign map, and you'll have to fix it and invest money to actually try and fix it up. Barricades, that's a new feature as well. You can actually now, in deployment as a defender, place barricades in streets to block off sections, almost like play a tower defense game, almost, channel where you want your enemy to come through and try and kind of, come up with kill zones and, channel them to your advantage. So yeah, lots of stuff. Yeah, so basically we'll have a multiplayer, like as we did in Rome. You'll have multiplayer battles and you'll have multiplayer campaign, 1v1 or cooperative campaign. And all of the new features that we're implementing in Attila, all of the new battle features, all of the new campaign features like abandoning settlements, destroying, raising settlements, all of these features will be available in multiplayer. So it's going to add a whole new dynamic to the multiplayer game. How long is a piece of string? It's a total war game. So you could set your own objectives and play a game over the course of several hours, or you could spend weeks. It's entirely up to the player and how long they want to invest. I mean, thanks for liking our games, and hope you enjoy this one. I mean, we do. So yeah, thank you.
And I will watch your world burn.